Hey everyone, Joe here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you the new updated masking tool in Adobe Lightroom Classic. But before we get started, you probably noticed there's a difference in the format of this video. Looks like YouTube is going to be changing up how they look at videos where people don't show their face in attempts to combat AI. So to keep from this video getting kind of suppressed and to guess them thinking, since I don't show my face in most of my Lightroom retouching videos, that this video might be AI. So yeah, so the algorithm doesn't screw us over, from now on, all my Lightroom and Photoshop retouching videos, you will have to look at me. So hopefully that's not a problem. But anyway, that being said, before we get started with this tutorial, I really want to grow this channel. I really want to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you can help me out, like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get all the notifications, as well as share this video with your friends and that also enjoy photography, I'd be highly appreciated. That said, let's hop over here to Lightroom. Okay, so here we are in Adobe Lightroom. And for those who probably noticed, Adobe Lightroom got an update to the masking tool, and it's been improved. Still not perfect, but it's been greatly improved quite a bit. And this feature actually came in Photoshop Camera Raw before it actually hit Lightroom. But since I mainly use Lightroom for the most part, that's what I want to talk about. And so let's kind of look at it and see what's going on here. Now, I've noticed some of the videos and stuff, people talking about this, it kind of seems like the photos they show might have been a little cherry picked, if you know what I mean. While the update is actually pretty decent, it's still got some flaws. All right, so let's kind of look at this image here. This is a photo I shot here in Osaka, and I've already actually applied the masking because I've been testing out some stuff here. So let's kind of look at the mask. Now, I have it set to sky mask. If I turn it on here, you can see where it kind of masked everything out. But we need to kind of get a better look at this. Let me just kind of delete this mask again, kind of start over, just so we can see, I can show you what's actually going on here. All right, let's select sky here. All right, so yes, there's now a feather tool along with the edge, and it has been improved. It has been greatly improved. Even just the default settings alone are way better than it was, because you used to get kind of this halo, like I'm showing you here, around just about everything. Now it's got pretty close here. Now, as 0 should be dialed in right on the edge, but if you want to back it up, you can go negative numbers. You want to go further into the image, go positive numbers. All right, and now you can invert this as well, and I'll show you that on another one here. Then they got the feather tool. Now, the feather tool is supposed to feather out even more into it. However, trying to use the feather tool, it doesn't really seem like it's doing all that great. Let me set these back to the default here of 0, 0, and I'll just drop the exposure big time here so we get a much better look at what's going on. As you can see, it's working fairly decent. You close this and zoom out. Look around the edge. And this is what it is by default. So yeah, it's still got a halo on it. So let's see what we can do to kind of like change this. Let's go back to our mask over here and see if we can adjust that feather and everything. If we adjust the feather, well, there we go with that haloing again. And that's not what we want, not what we want at all. And if we go opposite direction, it goes in. If we go this way, it seems to like go a little bit deeper onto it, say like a +2 here. And you can see it's starting to eat into the outer trees and the rooftop of the building here. So maybe a 1 or 2 on that, and maybe adjust the feather a little bit. I don't know. To me, using it on the sky, it doesn't seem like it's working that great. So let me set this back to 0, 0 again. And yeah, 0, 0. What I find actually works the best for me personally is just inverting the thing when you do a sky mask. That'll let you adjust the exposure once you want. So like the buildings here, if I want to bump up their exposure, say 1 stop here, then go back to your globals and drop the overall exposure down to bring back the sky. Or so just set the exposure there if you really wanted to, and just drop the highlights even more. To me, that seems to work a lot better. And if we go back to the mask and stuff here, go back to this mask, and you see if we feather it out, it seems to feather in a little bit better this way. Of course, the feather doesn't look great, so go back a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Some things it seems to work a lot better on, but seems honestly, the most time, just the default settings seem to be the overall best that you're going to get. All right, that was one image. Go out here to another one. All right, here's another. I want to show this one because these pine tree here had these very unique bristles and stuff. And let's go to develop here. And go over here to our mask and take another look at it. If I'm not mistaken, this is one I also masked in. Let me see here. Yeah. Exposure. Yeah. This is what I wanted to show you right here. Let me zoom in on this. It's doing a really good job on these needles. You know, these pine needles and stuff on this pine tree. And go back to our mask here. See if we can feather this. So if the feathering would be really good in this case, especially for like hair, because hair can be really annoying. But as far as if you want a real good solid edge, just the edge alone, maybe so like up to like 5, like on the needles, give you the most realistic results, I believe. Of course, they're really underexposed, so yeah, I kind of like it a lot better this way. It does seem like it works a lot better than it did originally. So as you can see, you know, you turn that mask on and off. It works better. It's like I said, it's still not flawless, but it is overall better. You see, if I go back here and I pick that mask and I crank the exposure back up, get more realistic looking ish in an image. Pull those highlights down, the shadows up, so get a little bit flatter, more natural looking. I think that's still a little too bright. But anyway, yeah. This seems to work better for me personally. Just if you go to do the sky doesn't seem to work that well coming in, but everything else working outward off the ground seems to feather out better. Well, like I said before, there was a lot of extreme halos, so this is an improvement. Alrighty. Now let's take a subject one here. And this little parakeet here. This is one I was looking at. I think it's a parakeet, bird, a red bird. Took years ago. Alrighty. Let me pull up the exposure and everything here, the mask. And I actually did a subject mask on this one. You can see. And I think this actually worked quite well. I was able to do it because it was fairly dark on the image. And if I bump it up really extreme, you can see the edges and stuff. And we can feather it out a little bit. You can see it's starting to get halo around them. You don't want halo. We go real edgy on it. Edgy may look a little too robotic. See, like a plus 13 on that one. Feathered out here to like a negative 10. As you can see around the feathers and stuff right up on this. This is actually looking decent. Pretty decent here. Got to just feather out just a little. I think the feather is a little extreme. And I wish there was a way to go back the opposite direction on the feather. I really do. Because just adding just a feather, just the way it works. See how the feathers get dark there, but the outside edges, I don't like that. But it's like I said, it works a little bit if you add just a little feather. But overall, like I think it's working way better than it did. As before, like I said, it used to look more like this. Every time you did like a sky mask, you'd get a definitely halo around everything, and it was an ugly mask. So this new updated masking for the edges and stuff is a lot better. Like like I said, just a little bit, like a 6 there and a -7 on that. Really fine tune that head and stuff in quite well. And I think it looks really, really good. So yeah, it's an improvement. It's definitely an improvement, but there still could be some more improvements. But anyway, I just want to kind of mention this new feather and edge tool. Like I said, it's now in Lightroom. Like I said, it came to Camera Raw about last month, I believe. And a lot of people raving how it's drastically improved. Yeah, it's improved, but like I said, it still could get better. But it's nice that it actually is improved at least. So anyway, that's why I wanted to really show in this video. Just kind of a quick tutorial on this to let you know the new feather and edge tool. You can now actually adjust them and get better results out of them than we could before. But anyway, that's it for this video, everyone. Okay, everybody. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. Please feel free to join us on Discord, Facebook, and X. And if you can, please consider becoming a Patreon member. Also, if you're interested in what gear I use, those and all the other links can be found down in the description below.